Om Shanti and very good morning, Divine Family. So today we will be reading the same Murli that we started 2 days ago. So today is the third part of the Murli. The Murli, the Murli dated 25 December 1985. And the title of the Murli is Maintain Your Spiritual Intoxication and Become a Carefree Emperor. So let me share the Murli just a minute. Yeah, hope you can see the Murli and my voice is coming through, I suppose. Can somebody confirm?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, thank you, Amiben. Okay, so in third part of the Murli is Baba meeting the group, doctors, group of doctors. So in this, Baba is mainly addressing the doctors and how the treatment, how to become a spiritual doctor and how to provide a permanent healing through the blessings and how to remember Baba, how we can make our remembrance natural, and how to make Baba belong to us. And in those area Baba is touching. Okay. And also Baba says, you have to keep your mind busy, because if you don't keep your mind busy, then mind will wander somewhere. So we have to create a timetable and then make the mind busy. Somehow we'll have to find a way how we can make our mind busy. Okay. And Baba is also saying how we have to remember Baba and how we should serve, how we should basically enjoy this Brahmin life. So and we have to become a spiritual roses, and then through our behavior and interaction we have to spread the vibration, the spiritual vibration around the people, and influence them or attract them with our qualities. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So Avyakt Babdada meeting a group of doctors. What is the heart of all the doctors? What is in the heart of all the doctors? It is in the hospital, is it? To make the Father sit in your heart means to give a cure for all time to many others. Nowadays, even doctors say that medicine doesn't work as much as blessings do. They too have become disheartened by medicine because they know what the result of it. What else can it be? This is why everyone's vision is now going towards blessings. Now, yoga in the form of now yoga in the form of exercise is increasing everywhere, right? We all know that yoga is different form of exercises there, different style is there. So Baba is highlighting that we need to get blessings through our action. Okay, so yeah, let's see what Baba saying. They have now reached a stage of yoga, and eventually they will come to the stage of easy yoga, Sahaja yoga. Okay, at least their intellect has gone into a different direction from medicine. Ultimately, they will come to the right destination. So this is the work that you doctors have to do. Is it not? You're the ones who bring everyone's intellect to the right place. Are you not? It is good. By maintaining courage, you automatically receive the Father's help and will continue to do so. Where there is courage, the impossible will become possible. You're you're all those who make the impossible possible. People of the world say that it is very difficult to concentrate their mind, right? Everybody has that problem because as you know, the more we become tamo pradhan, the more difficult to concentrate, right? And I think nowadays even the children are facing this problem, especially in this world where there is a lot of distraction around, especially with the phone, a smartphone. That's one of the biggest distraction that most of the people are complaining and also are saying. They even say that that is impossible. Whereas, what do you say? For you, it is a matter of a second, is it not? You simply say Baba, and your mind is reaches its destination. You say Baba, and your mind reaches its destination. So, for you, it is a task of a second, and for them, it is impossible, right? So, for us, it's just a second task, and for others, it is impossible. So, there is so much difference. It doesn't take you time, does it? It isn't that you have to wait for the song to play, for the red light to be switched on, and only then can your mind concentrate, is it? Baba is asking only when, when you sit in yoga, when the light, everything is turned, only then your mind is concentrated. No, right? So you don't have to labor, do you? He is your father after all. Is he not? He is not the father of anyone else, right? He is not the father of anyone else. If someone were not your father and someone told you that he was your father and that you have to remember him, you won't be able to remember him, would you? However, this one is your father. It is never difficult to remember someone who belongs to you, right? Yes. So we need to have that picture, right? So when we have the picture in mind, then it becomes easy for us to remember, right? And now, um, when we realize the self as a point or a soul, and we realize the soul, and the whole connection is with the Father, right? The Supreme Soul, who's also a point of light. So it makes us, that relation has come. So from from soul point of view, the whole connection is with the Supreme Soul. So a remembrance, right, becomes easy for us when it comes to when we add that relation with the Supreme Soul, right? It is difficult to remember those who doesn't belong to you, right? You remember him with a right, or is it that you remember him thinking that he is God, he is so great, he is like the sun. Remember him with the right that everything belongs to you. Okay. So Baba would like to bring our attention to that relation of that father, and child. So it becomes that will make the remembrance easy here, right? And then further, Baba says, become spiritual roses and continue to spread fragrance throughout the day. Fragrance is such that it also attracts even those at a distance, right? Fragrance is such that it also attracts those at a distance. So those at a distance will wonder where the fragrance is coming from. So your spirituality will attract the world. Look, and the fragrance of spirituality even attracted the people abroad to this land, did it not? Right? That spiritual attraction, that is what the important thing is. So that always comes with our chindan, right? So what we think and what we radiate, all that matters. The fragrance reach the lands abroad, right? Yes. Whatever work you are doing, continue to spread this fragrance with your pure thoughts. So the fragrance is spread through our pure thoughts. So Baba says, continue to spread this fragrance with your pure thoughts. While doing any work, check in how many directions your intellect is, how many directions your intellect is going, even against your conscious wish. It goes in many directions. It does not go in just one direction. Since it can go in other direction, you can also do service and have remembrance at the same time too. Can it not? Right. So mind is something that we have to pay very special attention. Otherwise, the mind keep wandering from one place to the other. Right. So Baba is saying that we have to pay attention to the mind and then give the direction to the mind to think, create thoughts in the right direction. You can also do service and have remembrance at the same time too. Can you not? It is for a very little time that you need to engage your intellect fully in a task. When there is a certain type of work, such as a surgeon carrying out an essential operation, then the intellect would be fully engaged in that. When he when But when the medicine being given or you are checking a patient, your intellect can then do other work too, right? Okay, so Baba is saying this to the doctors, right? So doctors will when they are doing an operation, right, then they will have to pay super attention to what they are doing, right? So at the time, remembering Baba will be really a challenge for them. And even we think, some type of work where we have to use our mind and intellect, right? So that time it becomes sometimes, challenge to remember Baba. So after the work or before the work we can stabilize ourselves in remembering Baba and then we can get started. That's another way. But here Baba says they are not always, have to give that full attention, but there are times where they can use their, when they check the patients and they will have some time here and there, right, to free up their intellect. So that's when they can remember Baba, right? Since it can do that work, why can it not do this work, right? The mind and intellect have a habit of spinning. Whether you spin the discus of knowledge or you spin the discus of waste. That's interesting, right? So the mind will either think the knowledge or something else. So spinning the waste or spinning knowledge. There definitely is something spinning going on, right? When you spin the discus of self-realization, all other spinning ends. So this is one good practice that one can do to end the spinning of waste, or even cutting off any of the devilish traits that we have within us, right? Self-realization or the Panswarup Abhyas. So basically, this all will help us to engage our mind, right? Like Baba said, either spin the knowledge or spin the waste. And then Baba says, so all of you are cooperative in service, are you not? Those of you who don't have any time due to your circumstances, raise your hands. So now, so Baba wants to know if somebody is claiming that they don't have time, right? They can't or give cooperation service, right? So Baba would like to see them raise their hands. All of you can serve with your mind, right? Can you not? Service is a very good means to remain busy, right? Service is a very good means to remain busy. The busier your, the busier you keep yourself, the safer you will remain. Okay. The busier you keep yourself, the safer you remain. Whether you serve with your thoughts, words, or deeds, definitely keep your intellect busy. Okay. So service is also is another means where you can engage your mind so that doesn't the waste will not have enough margin to come in, creep in, right? You remain busy with your hands and feet, right? But also keep your intellect busy. Create a timetable for yourself, right? Even the last few days back, also we read the Murli, right, to make ourselves powerful. So there also Baba was emphasizing on creating a timetable, right, for the self. So here also Baba says, create a timetable for yourself throughout the day, right, to keep your mind busy. The more important a person is, so the timetable is fixed accordingly. So you are the greatest people, are you not? Search throughout the whole cycle. Is there anyone greater than Brahmins? Even the deities are not that. Even though you yourself will become deities, that is nothing complete to this life, right? That is nothing to compare to this life. Okay. So Baba is, bringing our attention to how elevated people we are, how VVIPs we are. So we must keep some sort of a timetable for the mind to, the big people will always have timetable, right? So they will have agenda for the day, what they need to do. So similarly, we should also have timetable about what we should do for the day. Okay, even Baba says we are, see, even the deities, right? And though we are becoming the deities, right? So so this life, the Brahmin life is most elevated. So we are elevated than the deities. Acha, do you experience yourself to be the ones with the greatest fortune of happiness? Is there anyone who is as fortunate as you? What would be the sign of those whose fortunate are so elevated? They would always remain happy. Those who have fortune are always full. When someone is clever at knowledge and study, it is said that this one's fortune is very good, right? When somebody, even in Laukik, when somebody is good at study, they will say that, okay, um, this one's fortune is very good. So here also Baba says, when somebody always they are happy and, they feel they are uh, studying, doing the homework, right? So here also Baba says, their fortune is very good. The sign of good fortune is that they would be full in everything. They would not be weak. They would be brave. So all of you are fortunate, are you not? Okay. Songs of happiness are constantly playing. On the path of devotion, it is said, the limitless mantra should constantly resonate. And so they make so much effort to listen to and to retain the limitless mantra. What effort did all of you make? Songs of happiness are constantly playing automatically. They never end. No matter how long a song you compose, it will still end. If it continues playing automatically, the battery will finish or the record player will get heated, right? Okay, so does your battery ever finish? So Baba is asking, does your battery ever finish? So, right, so Baba is comparing with a electronic device that if you keep it on for a long time, right, so it will get heated up and then it might stop, right? Or the battery will dry. So similarly, when we engage in the wasting, right? So unnecessarily the energy is wasted, right? And then Baba says the song is imperishable, and this is why it is limitless. That is, it has no end. So, does the limitless song play, or do you have to play it? What other work do you have anyway? Sing and dance, right? So, the whole Sangam Yuga itself is for us to sing and dance. That means to stay in a happy mood all the time, right? after all, what is having yoga? It is just dancing in happiness, is it not? You sing the Father's praise, you dance in happiness. What else do you do? Only in this there is service. Only in this there is yoga. Only in this there is knowledge and dharana. Sing and dance and eat Brahma Bhojan. Yeah, important. Sing and dance and eat Brahma Bhojan. When you have offered bhog, it becomes Brahma Bhojan, does it not? If you eat without offering bhog and without remembrance, then it is ordinary food. You see, Baba is saying that, so the difference between ordinary food and the Brahma Bhojan. Okay, so when you offered bhog, it becomes Brahma Bhojan. Otherwise, it's just ordinary food. If you eat without offering bhog and without remembrance, then it is ordinary food. And there won't be any strength received. Okay, so that's the difference. So you don't receive any strength. Your stomach will become full through that, but the soul will not receive any power. Okay, so stomach will receive, eventually body will get all the required nourishment, but the soul will not get any power. So the bhog that we offer, right, and then taking the food means then not only the body but also the soul benefiting, receiving power through it. So what do you have to do? Eat, dance, and sing. You have been liberated from making effort. Otherwise, people have to make so much effort. They do pranayama, that is breathing exercise. They continue to look at one idol. They stop their mind. They are made to make so much effort. You simply directed your mind to the Father, right? That was all. You made your mind busy in that. You made your mind pure. You did not suppress it. Now your mind has elevated thoughts, and it is therefore a pure mind. The wandering of the mind has stopped. Until you find the destination, you keep on wandering. Once you have found your destination, why would you wander? If someone wanders even after finding the destination, it would be said that his brain is not okay. Your brain has become broad and unlimited. You have become far-sighted and broad-minded. Your intellect has become so unlimited that you know all three aspects of time: the beginning, the middle, and end, and the past, present, and future. So always remember this. You are fortunate. Never become weak. Become one who performs wonders. You remained weak for half the cycle. Why should you remain weak now? Whatever thoughts you have, words you speak, and actions you perform, check that they are a wonder or not a weakness. Let wonders be experienced, okay, through every thought and word. Acha, so there ends the Murli. Okay, so let's take a minute, um, remember Baba, and then come back ready to share our takeaways for the day. Om Shanti. Let's remember Baba for 1 minute. Om Shanti. So, so Baba was saying that we all are spiritual roses, right? And um, so who these doctors are the ones who would give permanent healing through their blessings. That was initially Baba said, not just temporary solutions. And then Baba said we have to create timetables to keep our mind busy, otherwise it will keep spinning, either knowledge or waste. Yeah, anybody like to share their takeaways? Anything straight with you? Some chat, I will read that. Okay, medicine was blessings. Yes. Just one word, Baba. My mind concentrates, no preparation. This one is my father. He uh, uh, belonged to me. I'm a spiritual rose. My fragrance of spirituality attracts people from a distance. My intellect goes in all direction. I am doing the discuss of self-realization. Service keeps the mind and intellect busy. So let me set my timetable. Yes, that's the homework that Baba gave, that we need to, we all are very, very important people. So we have to set our timetable. So when there is timetable, right, then accordingly the mind will start acting throughout the day. So we can keep our mind busy. So this is one method to keep our mind busy. And yes, of course, Baba said about the blessings, right? The medicine and the blessings. So Baba says blessings work more than medicine. So even yesterday's Vardhan was also like that. How to, take blessings from other people by doing that sort of a karma through which they, become happy and have good wishes. Um, that pure and good wishes will become blessings for others. Yes. Anybody wants to share what practice you're going to do today, or any other takeaway from the Murli? How you're going to spread the spiritual fragrance, you being the spiritual rose?
Om Shanti Bhaiji. Baba makes life of Baba's children very easy. He says, do service, have Brahma Bhojan, sing and dance. So life becomes so easy to imagine without having to struggle for anything else. That is a very simple lifestyle. I feel very joyous. And next, Baba reiterated to maintain a chart of mind. At what time would you be thinking what? And rest of the time, you can remember Baba. So these are simple methods, Baba says. And I personally felt I was getting the images of what Baba said, the spiritual roses, and what Baba said about doctors. And it felt all very easy to do. I believe that once we start letting that happen, by imagining that, it will start influencing us first and then it will influence others. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yeah, very true. Thank you, Vinod Rai, for sharing that you being a doctor, right, would be very easy for you to apply it. I mean, of course, everybody it is easy. Baba has made it everything easy, right? Sing and dance, take it easy, right? The chart of the mind and how to become a spiritual rose and do the service, how you can take blessings from others, right? And the art of keeping the mind busy, yes, of course, being a doctor, sometimes they'll have to pay special attention, right? Like Baba said, while doing an operation. So at the time, it will be difficult to remember Baba, but when the operation is over, right, then the mind is somewhat relieved, right? Then we'll have time. Or while interacting with the patient, in between there'll be time, right? So wherein you can remember Baba. So your pure thoughts and your pure feelings is going to spread um, good vibration around them, and that will become there. I think you become the spiritual rose who spread the pure vibration. That's going to attract people. Thank you for sharing that, Vinod Bhai. And then, okay, Girijaben says, I am an elevated, fortunate soul. Of course, you are. It is full, carefree emperor, and self sovereignty brings the best gift from my father. That's right. Carefree sovereignty. Yeah, yesterday you said, right? Carefree sovereignty. That is, now we have to become carefree, and then in future we will become sovereign, right? Become king. Okay, this limitless happiness, the limitless mantra, right? Okay, so goes on. I found the Sangam dance. Okay, uh, like uh, like courageous line, the verse, emperor. Okay, the prince and emperor, future king, and dancing. Okay, yeah, very good. So essentially, Baba would like to keep us happy. Baba is giving us different points through, as in when we churn and go over it, right? So our mind will, and of course, the mind and intellect will get engaged within, and also that creates a good vibration around. We enjoy it at the first place, and then, of course, the surrounded people will also get some benefit out of it, right? I shall perform wonders. Okay, very good. You're already performing wonders. Okay, any other sharings from anyone? Sahaja Yoga. Baba said this is Sahaja Yoga, right? And why is it Sahaja Yoga? Baba says that the concentration is a challenge for outside world, right? As we know, with um, the introduction of the smartphone, right? The smartphone introduced to the world that a lot of research says that that became um, one device that which degrading the intellect or making the people's intellect um, uh, their mind and intellect, right? Concentration power is degrading like anything. So there was a research done by Microsoft on that aspect. So, and at some point before smartphone, it was 12 point something, 12.5, I suppose, the attention span that human being had. But after the smartphone introduced to the world, and that became to 8 second. 8 second is the attention power, is it seems average human being attention power, which is very less compared to, they were comparing it with a goldfish. Goldfish has got 9 seconds of attention power. So here, Baba says all we need to do is just remember Baba, right? And then remember home, Mera Baba. That will take us to the um, soul world there, or just saying Baba, right? That itself will establish a connection, and we'll have yoga connection with him. That improves our concentration power there. Yes, Girija, you want to add something?
Yeah, yeah. See, we have a doctor on board, Dr. Vinod. I want to
Yes.
ask him, are these questions or are these statements of Baba experience? Like Baba says, in the heart of the doctors, it isn't the hospital. It is only the Father and it is the blessings. Does it really, is it real, is Baba really taught? Isn't he talking too spiritually? Imagine every doctor when he's just going to the OT or when he's just going to treat, he will definitely keep the hospital in mind. That's what they say nowadays. It's become a fashion for all doctors to take the patients to the OT table because they have the heart of the hospital, the revenue of the hospital in mind. So that's why they take them. And then they rely first on their belief, their capabilities to solve it. It's only at the end when they know everything else failed, they come out like that's what they show in pictures, but I don't know the reality that see nothing I can do, not time for you to go to God. So, but Baba is not telling you like that. Baba is telling that group of doctors, in your heart is the Father. You always know only it is the blessings. You are disheartened by medicine. That made me all the more like as if doctors are disheartened by medicines. So I think the best person who could give a kind of a right view will be Dr. Vinod. So if you have time, if you can just give his personal note or experiences from what he has seen. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister. Per se, I work in a governmental setup, so there is no influx of money with every patient. So the focus is primarily on the care of the person. And with respect to my clientele here, they are mostly also in terms of their profession, like because every health problem comes with an implication on the job that they do. For example, in kitchen, if I have chopped my finger, I would not be able to hold my spatula or prepare food correctly. So I would rather tell them not to prepare food. But some passionate chefs would say, no, I want to prepare food. It is my job. If I don't do that, so that is kind of a occupational disposal. So I am more of an occupational practitioner in aerospace medicine. So that way, my clientele also believes that yes, doctors also should do whatever they can, and rest they should leave it to God. They should not take too much upon themselves. That is what luckily my clientele believes here. My patient population believe here. And at the same time, for me, the big relief is one saying of Baba, "तुम चिंता मत करो मैं बैठा हूँ." When things actually get complicated beyond safety of patient and their own passion overtaking their safety and the safety of other people, and then this becomes a guiding principle for me, that yes, tum chinta mat karo. I have actually stuck that Baba's photograph right opposite my table, where I can see when two people come and sit for a discussion opposite my table, behind them is that poster actually. So I feel that that helps me a lot when actually discussions and health conditions are worrisome with respect to people. And to a greater extent, what my colleagues also do is, if they are not able to treat a patient, they will refer it to a higher facility, and they actually do not like to take on cases which are beyond their capacity. I mean, the first principle for us is not to do any harm. So, somewhere I hope I've answered, sister. Thank you.
Yeah, see, I just want you to ratify this. They say doctor is God. But when somebody said, I said, no, doctor is an instrument of God. So if every doctor thinks himself as an instrument, not to think he's over here because of the big chunk of degrees which follows him, or because of the experience he has in the OT table, I think that's why they say in the end, if you see if the patient is saved, if the operation success, when they say, doctor, you are God. And the doctor also sometimes he say, maine kya kiya, something, like it happens. I know you're working in a clientele different, but being a doctor, you see, even we are not doctors, but we hear so much stories of hospitals and all. So that's why I wanted to ask you about that experience, because is it a reality or is it just a showbiz? Because long time back when I was young Vinod Bhai, I've read a book by Arthur Haley who wrote on hospital. There I remember understood the role of a doctor. So what is, you need not work, but you are in that profession. So I just want to say, when Baba has put so much hope on the doctors in that paragraph, you just see how he said, "Aapka dil mein baap hai." I was just
Mm.
thinking, should that be the visual for every person who enters? Don't worry, God is in doctor's heart. That's
Actually,
why
sister,
I wanted to.
you know, I shall share an instance. Uh, I was once sent to Colombo when they had a tsunami. I mean, a big flooding kind of a problem, a cyclone actually called in 2020, in 2016, May 21st. So there we had set up a camp to help other people there. I was back then already a student of Baba, so I was only praying during our route to Sri Lanka here from India that yes, this environment should also subside. We should be peaceful while at least we should be able to reach that place safely. And somehow things went well. And on 22nd or 23rd of May, it was Buddha Purnima there, and it all subsided. So, to a greater extent, we could conduct that camp very gratefully, and our ties with that country also became so friendly. They appreciated our efforts, we appreciated the environment changing and their sanctity. So that way, sometime remembering Baba first consoles you. And to another experience of mine, I mean, part of our training, we do deliver babies, you know, and it is actually a very tense situation. It's a double birth for the mother, and it's a new world for the child. It brings a lot of satisfaction to us. Uh, though I'm not a pediatrician or a gynecologist, but it really makes a great impact on us as to how the training or the profession can bring changes into lives of people. They do tell, yes, you are God, you are next to, I mean, very humble people in the society. They do tell this, but I have realized it is not so. If I do that, yes, if I take that credit, I feel that it is an ego in itself, and it will prevent me from doing something more better. But that is how people perceive it. It is only for us to submit it to higher thing, because it is not us alone. I can reap the benefit in the terms of the satisfaction that I have received or the interaction that I have had with an individual. But the primary thing is that a God makes us instrument, truly. He only tells, go help people to the extent you can, do no harm to them. You can take help of other colleagues, make them also instruments to help. But yes, if you can't do anything better, please at least don't do any harm. To a greater extent, once we tell patient that sorry, we do not have, I do not have this expertise to do, you would be requiring a little higher support. I shall refer you to next person. I'll talk to him. I'll write a letter for you. Then people say, "Oh, thank you so much. That is a great help." Yeah. So that's how it has worked so far. Om Shanti.
Wow, great. Thank you, Vinod Bhai, for sharing that. Yes. So being a doctor, I guess you get a lot of blessings because people are upset when they are ill, right? So and God is like a God for them, right? Those who are suffering. So when doctor give them a medicine or suggest them for their cure, right? So definitely only blessings will emerge from that patient. And of course, doctors can be a very good instrument of Baba because when doctors say something to the patient, patients will definitely do it. And in our center also, I've seen many people, came to study Rajyoga meditation course because the doctor suggested them to go for it. Okay, so and most of the patients will open up in front of a doctor. They don't hide anything, so they feel comfortable with God. Sorry, comfortable with doctors in that aspect because they want proper um, uh, heal, right? So that opening up is very important.
Thank you, Vinod Bhai. You must go through Ashok Mehta's experiences, and especially all those cancer doctors who treated Dadi Gulzar, and even I forgot the Bhagwati doctor who treated Mama. You know, you must go through their experiences and what they got when they were treating these people. Their experiences were this. So, as a doctor, I think you should go through and how one person, Ashok Mehta, now he is the leading cancer doctor at Tata Memorial. His experience of how he changed and what brought him and all, these kind of dadis and didis have gone. I think that's why Baba has included this sentence in 1989 about doctors go with the father. It's very beautiful. You must read all that. And even when Dadi Janki, she goes, ah, doctor, aap kaise hain? That kind of questions and all. It's not only with dadis. You see, even in common people, if you read, there are so many, even with Mother Aurobindo, there are many, many of these enlightened people, how doctors, when they treat them, like they don't feel they are treating, they cannot treat the soul, that's there, that's only my Shiv Baba can do, but some kind of light feeling they have. You should read those experience. It's a very beautiful paragraph, which I just thought I could share it from you and know what's your spiritual thing. Thank you very much.
I would like to remember here Dr. Shashikala. She's a gynecologist. She was returned. She was deported back to
Vinod
India
Bhai, I
from
have to
Dubai.
stop you. Vinod Bhai, she was my very, very, very close friend. I know her like more than a sister. Now you continue because she's very close to my heart. She was in Dubai.
Mm, Sister has started. She returned to India, and she was there in company. I was working in the same hospital. She was the person who had arranged a program over there to enlighten souls on Shivratri. It was all on her personal experiences. Morning to evening, she would practice, and then in the evening, she would go to the sub center and organize the classes. And now, sister is actively practicing in Telangana. She still continues to practice, and she delivers so many children free of cost. And she says, "I'm an instrument of God to deliver as many souls as possible, so that they take a safe birth and complete this Kali Yuga." She's really energetic and very happy person to interact with. Yeah, Shanti.
I think you all should just call her in the club to get her experience. I have been with her. The only
Right,
thing what
sister.
she forgot was she was in Dubai and she didn't know how messages have to be given. So she was just removed from Dubai. She was sent to jail. I've been with her. I've been with her. You can just tell her how much we all. And she wrote a very good compiled about Baba is the diamond surgeon in the year 1996. So she's a wonder. I don't know even where is she. Nice to know you are in a contact. It's beyond such kind of people. I think they are crazy Miras. I call her
Yeah.
crazy Miras. Wonderful to know you reminded her. My heart goes to her today because of you. Om Shanti.
Yes, sister.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for that beautiful sharing. And, so the day, time is coming up. So we should, for the day, what we need to practice is somehow keep your mind busy, create a timetable, and don't let the waste spinning happen, or don't do, okay, you can do knowledge, spinning of knowledge, not the waste. And so, with that, let's close today's session. Let's remember Baba for 1 minute, and then we'll end the session for today. So, with that, let's observe silence and remember Baba. Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. We shall connect again tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, you all have a beautiful day. Om Shanti.